Hi everyone, I'm Tegan Wiedenhalf, and this is my Module 1 for AEP 858 Data Analysis and Assessment. I'll start with some personal information about myself. I grew up in Beloit, Kansas. Then after graduating from Beloit High, I went on to Kansas State University and received my bachelor's in elementary education in 2014. I was fortunate enough that there was a job open back home in Beloit, and so I was able to start teaching at Beloit Elementary in 2014. All 6 years that I have taught have been in kindergarten. I married a boy from Beloit, and so of course that's why we moved back, and we have 2 little girls. So now moving on to my work environment. In our school, it's big enough that we have 3 kindergarten classrooms along with 3 teachers' age. Not very many schools are fortunate enough to have that, and so we're very lucky. The other 2 teachers that I work with, we are able to bounce ideas off of each other. We plan together. We get along really well. I love it because if I need anything, I can go to them and they're there to help me out. Our school as a whole is very uplifting and positive. We're all in it for the students and we want what's best for them. Right now we have really great administration. We just added on a vice principal a few years ago, and that has been very helpful, and they answer our questions when we have them, and they're willing to try to make changes if we need something changed, and they're there to help. Some different goals that I have as I'm moving throughout my master's is to graduate in May with a master's degree in reading specialist. I hope to use my degree to improve on how I teach reading. I really right now don't want to leave the classroom. My goal is to stay in the classroom, but having this master's, I know that someday if I change my mind, then I can move on to a title position having that reading specialist background. Moving on to the data analysis section, I'll start with the critical reflection of our school, Beloit Elementary School. Some different ways that our district collects data to analyze and make decisions on instruction is the STAR reading and math test. We take that 2 times a year, and that's online. We do an Ames Web math and literacy each 9 weeks, and that is done from our title teachers. And then we do our classroom skills check, and that's how I come up with the grade card, and we do that every 9 weeks. And then, of course, classroom observations throughout the school day and the school week. A reflection on myself. Each 9 weeks, I do a skills check to come up with the grade card. I don't have weekly tests or spelling tests and math tests that I do, so I do my skills check at the end of the 9 weeks to make the grade card. I collect data through sight words and letter identification periodically in my reading groups. I did find some areas that I need to improve on while kind of digging in and kind of watching other people's videos and realizing there are definitely areas I need to improve on. I don't collect very much math data, and so that's an area that I'm hoping I can figure out before next school year how to transition into collecting more math data. And then the data that I do collect, then I need to use that in my grouping and also in my instruction. So when I do collect data through sight words and letter identification, sometimes I don't always use it, and so I need to be better about using that. And just as a whole, collecting data more often. Each 9 weeks is definitely not enough to collect data on all of their skills, and so I need to be better about collecting it more often. So my plan to improve is do quick weekly checks and make notes in a binder. And I put organization on there because that is an area I lack in, and so I saw in somebody else's video that they are going to do a binder with a student having a page each, and so I think that's an easy way. It's simple. I'll have a student have their own page, and then I can make their checks in there and write little comments on areas that they're struggling or areas maybe that they need pushed in. And then I also plan to change groups frequently and base them on what the students need. So for example, if I'm teaching rhyming and there are 3 students who know it already, well then they need to move into a different group and not work on that. Or vice versa, if it's math and there are a few students who know their team numbers, while 10 of them don't, then I need to write that down and work on that with those 10 while the other students can move on. I've never really dug deep into data analysis, and so I'm excited for this class to hopefully get some great ideas that I can implement next year.